So for this one, the first thing that you want to do is you want to get rid of your brackets. Okay? Before you move anything around, get rid of your brackets. So to get rid of my brackets here, what should I do? Multiply the -3 into the bracket. Okay? Distributive property. Remember, if you have brackets, you have to distribute. So I have to multiply that -3 by the x and the -3 by the 2. So that gives me -6. Do I multiply it by this as well? No, because that's outside the bracket. Okay? So you see that -3 multiplied by the 2 terms inside the bracket. Then I have my equal. What do I do with this? Same thing. So 4 times 2. And then 4 times -5x. Now you see for this one, there's x's on both sides. Okay? It's not only one side. So anytime you want to isolate for x, you want to keep the terms, the like terms, on the same side. Okay? And the other terms on the other side. So what would I do with this is I want my x terms to be on the same side of the equality, and then the other terms, so the -6 and the 8, to be on the other side. Okay? So I want to collect like terms. Bring the x's to one side, bring the numbers to the other side. Remember, you can move things around the equal sign from one side to the other, but you just have to change their operation. Okay? So I can keep the -3x here. Keep the -3x here. I have to bring that -20x over the equal sign. So I have to cross it over. So what does it become when I cross it over? Are we okay with this so far? Now, the 8 stays on this side. How about the -6? You bring it over. Anytime you cross that equal sign, you're going to change your operation. Do we understand that? Okay. So now I can collect like term. These are my x terms, so I can add them. -3 minus 3, that's -6. Plus 20, that's 14x. No, this is -6, right? -6 plus 20, that's 14. What's 8 plus 6? I'm waiting. All right. Now, x is not by itself yet, right? X is not by itself. So I want to get rid of that 14 that's multiplied by the x. So when I bring it over, what happens to it? Divide. Because multiplication, opposite of multiplication is division. So x equals to 1. Now, the type of isolating or solving for a letter, it's never gonna go away. No matter what strand in math, you're gonna have to do isolation. You're gonna have to do solving. Okay, so you're gonna see this often. It doesn't have to be straightforward solve for, because we see that usually in grade 9 and 10, but you'll see it more in word problems. Okay, where you have to isolate for a letter. Are we okay with this? Yes. All right. So, looking at the last one, so I have y minus 7 divided by 3 equals to y minus 2 divided by 4. So what do you want to do with this? You want to isolate for the letters. But how would you do that? What's the first thing you want to get rid of? The fraction. So you want to get rid of that 3, and you want to get rid of that 4. Okay. So first you want to bring the 3 over, and you want to multiply by 3, and then? You can. That's another way to do it. There's multiple ways to do this one. Okay, you're saying find a common multiple or isolate. Okay, so how many of you heard of cross multiply? That's one way here. Okay, one way is to actually multiply, cross multiply. Right? Maybe that's a way that you remember it. Okay? Another way is to find a common denominator. Okay? Which is probably the harder of all of them. Okay? Another way would be you want to bring the 3 over here and you want to bring the 4 over here. Same idea. You're kind of cross multiplying. Okay? So if you cross multiply, then the 4 will be multiplied by the y minus 7. Do you guys remember that? And then what happened to the 3? Times y minus 2. Okay? So anytime you have a fraction equal to another fraction, you can do the cross multiplication. Okay? Now, since I have brackets, how can I get rid of the brackets? Multiply. Do the distributive property. So 4 times y is 4y. 4 times negative 7 is negative 28. Equals, what do I do with that 3? Yeah. Minus 6. Are we okay with this? Okay. Then to get rid of, to be able to simplify, what do I need to do? Yes, so I have to make sure that the like terms are on the same side of the equality. If they're not, I have to bring them. So, are my y's on the same side? Yeah. I've heard mixed of things. Are they on the same side? No. They're not. Because there's the equal right here, right? One is on the left, one is on the right. Okay? So that means I have to bring that 3y over. Okay? How about the negative 28? What do I do with it? Take it to the other side. So 4y, bring in the 3y over, what does it become?
Minus 3y.
Equals? Minus 6.
Plus 28.
Just 1 second. So y, which one would be plus?
The one on this side, because you're switching it. Didn't move the...
So if you bring that 3y over, the sign of the 3y is plus here. So when you bring it over, it becomes a subtraction. Okay? Because the opposite of addition is subtraction. And then this negative 28, because it's a negative, when I move it over, it becomes a plus. Okay? So 4y minus 3y equals 22. And I'm done. Because there's nothing with that y.